Hi, this is Jim Feldman, and this is the fifth in a series of 6 pitching magic videos on how to teach a beginning pitcher great technique, even if you know nothing about it. Well, at least nothing before you start watching these videos. This one starts with the hands extended towards the target and completes the circle from there. Most of the examples used in this video series are positions that actually occur when throwing a pitch. This one starts with a position that does not show up in an actual pitch, but it helps ease the transition to toe touch. It is also the starting point for many drills. With no ball, start with the toes on the power line, feet turned 30 to 45 degrees, with the shoulders and hips lined up with the feet. Extend the glove hand straight from the shoulders towards the target. Now extend the throwing hand towards the target, and the arms should be parallel to each other as well as parallel to the power line. Now bend the throwing hand elbow so that the throwing hand rests on the glove hand forearm. The upper arm should still be parallel to the power line. In an actual pitch, when both arms are pointing straight at the target, the feet, hips, and shoulders are also completely facing the target. We will get to that position later in this video. Slowly lift the throwing arm up until the upper arm brushes against the student's ear just before straight up. At this point, the hand should still be facing the target and the fingertips are pointing down. As the arm continues to the K position, allow the shoulders to rotate so that they are parallel to the power line as they were in video number 4. As the shoulders turn and the arm moves past the ear, allow the hand to point away from the body as it should do naturally. The elbow must have some flex. As the arm is coming up on the front side, shift the body weight from a neutral position to having much of the weight stacked up above the push foot. Keep the toe of the stride foot on the ground and allow the heel to come up. Keep the glove pointing at the target. As the arm comes around the back side of the circle, allow the weight to shift so that it is stacked above the stride foot by release. Both arms should come down together to keep the body in balance. Make sure that the student adheres to the key principles learned earlier. The ball's over the power line on the backside, the elbow arrives at connection with 30 to 45 degrees of hand lag, and the elbow passes freely in front of the hip, and so on. Repeat this until it is smooth and effortless. The hips slide from the back at circle peak to the front at release. Do not rotate the hips just yet. Once that is comfortable, add a ball and throw it into the glove, then lightly into a net or a catcher at about half of the pitching distance. Next, we will add a short step. Again, with no balls, bend the knees slightly to get into an athletic starting position as you would be in if you were hitting or defending a dribbling basketball player. As the arms start coming up, raise the stride leg at the same time and keep the flex in the push leg knee. Note that in the real pitch, the lift of the leg is completed by the time the arms reach the first quarter position, and that will be done shortly. This drill helps build the coordination between the arms and the legs. The knee of the stride leg should be as high as the hip, with the foot basically dangling down, not fully locked out. By the time the arm gets to the circle peak position, the body will be slightly leaning back to keep in balance with the stride leg lifted up high. Push forward and maintain the backwards body lean. Push forward only as far as it is comfortable to execute all of the elements of basic technique. The arm should move slowly enough that it reaches the K position as the stride foot toe reaches the ground. At toe touch, the body should have rotated to be completely sideways. Practice getting to the K position several times in slow motion until it becomes smooth and the toe touch coincides with getting to the K position. Do not try to do this at full speed because, as mentioned earlier, the starting position is not something that is in a fast pitch motion. Add a ball and throw into the glove until it is comfortable, then into the net or a catcher at about 3/4 of the pitching distance. Remember to land toe first at a 30 to 45 degree angle from the power line. Now we move the student into a real pitching position and she can start increasing the velocity of the pitches once she is comfortable with this motion. Without a ball, stand facing the target. Lift the stride foot knee up to waist high and balance there. Have both arms extended in front of the body, directly in front of the shoulders. Slightly bend the throwing hand elbow so that the hand moves to a spot in front of the body, with the glove hiding the hand from the catcher, or ultimately hiding it from the batter. Allow the body to start falling towards the target and do not move the arms. When the body is leaning forward enough so that the student can no longer keep her balance, she should start extending the knee and the ankle. Wait until the knee and ankle are fully extended before starting to move the arms. During the time from full knee and ankle extension until toe touch, the throwing hand must get to the K position. The glove hand stays where it is, the body turns completely sideways. The hips are pushed ahead of the shoulders by toe touch, as was done in video number 1 in this series. Practice going from this starting position to the K position. Once that is comfortable and repeatable and in balance, finish the throwing motion as in videos numbers 3 and 4. The glove should move in a fairly straight line from the first quarter position to the stride leg hip, arriving as the body starts partially rotating back to face the target. The throwing hand must clear the hip while the hips are rotated at 45 degrees or less. Then the rotation continues during the follow-through. Review those if necessary, but make sure that the elbow reaches connection with 30 to 45 degrees of hand lag and that the hand swings past the hip and brushes the leg with the little finger. After that is going well, add a ball and throw it into the glove. The glove hand, instead of going to the hip, now needs to come to a spot with the elbow fully extended and the glove touching the stride leg. Do those at a relaxed tempo until smooth. The student will not be able to do these in slow motion per se, as once the body starts leaning forward to the point of no return, things have to happen relatively quickly, but don't force the speed of the motion. As always, make sure the motion follows each of the 4 key principles of posture, alignment, spacing, and sequencing. It may be difficult for the student to catch the ball at first. The most common problems to watch for are the body not rotating to be fully sideways, the throwing hand elbow is not completely extended at release, or the throwing hand is not close to the leg. Also, the glove might not be in the right position at the right time. If the problem is not the glove placement, it should be worked on until she can do it consistently. If it is a glove location issue, it is okay to move ahead, but at some point you should come back to this and get it so she can catch the ball. This is a great drill to do during warm-ups while the student is waiting for a catcher to get ready. As usual, the next step is to throw with the eyes closed, then finally to see the throw. The student should gradually increase the power of the push. This results in either a longer or quicker stride, or both, whatever works best for the student. You can start moving the arm faster, making sure that the hand lag remains until elbow connection. So that's it. This is close to a pitch. Make sure that every time she throws the ball, it should come close to the target. If her control is not what it should be, go back to a place where she can be effective, either earlier points in this video or back to an earlier video. Do not rush ahead to throwing pitches. Most students can go from this exercise to a full pitch in a single practice session, and it is much easier for a typical student to adhere to the 4 key principles at this time than it is when she goes to full motion pitching in the next video. The better the details are now, the easier it will be to go to a full pitching motion and have some success.